Hello, my name is Omar Faruk Tekbilek. Today I would like to talk about Sufi music. Sufi music developed in Damascus late 11th century, in 12th century. It hits its peak. It started to evolve because of in early time in Islam, music was forbidden deliberately. Actually, I'm sorry, not music was forbidden. Music making with the instruments was forbidden, because music itself being a universal vibration, universal song, and even the priest, when we recite the Quran, it is always favorable, as Prophet said, with the good voice touches the heart. Music is happening over there. So people misunderstood that music was forbidden. No, music making was forbidden, because in that time, and when the Prophet came, that time, it was all drinking and making all the worldly, all kind of thing with the drinking involved. Music was the fire of these activities. That's why, because of it triggers the sense of this worldly thing, making music together was forbidden. And it took almost 2-3 centuries. People, although even the saints follow Hazrat Muhammad's teaching, they were not favorable to making music. Even Abdul Qadir Gailani, one of the greatest saint of Islam saint, he was not favor about the music. There was a reason for it, because people's mind has to evolve over the centuries, because they were worshipping things that they built and put it there, worship, and they eat it. So the mentality is very low. So they had to limit their freedom of doing things, putting them in the good manner. Then after this, real Islam philosophy become sink. People digest the philosophy. Then all the Sufis started to do music, even in the masjid, started in the masjid, in the Sufi dergah. Then even in Damascus in 11th century, 13th century, it flourished a little more. They gathering together, singing the hymns for the love of God. It's all based on, as we talk about Sufi philosophy, which adoration of one and only Lord. So these ideas expressed through this all melodies, beautiful melodies, Rumi's poetries, all the Persian saints, they were very good on the writing poetry. So they just compose these poetries with the music, keep singing and elevating people's spirit. What we call today as classical Turkish music has the root from this tradition, Sufi tradition. But also, I must add this one, this what we call classical music, beside this Sufi influence, and also contributed by Greek, Armenians, and Jewish composers, all living in this Anadolu, in this geography. So they contributed a lot, all the Armenian composers. They wrote all kinds of songs, Greek composers and Jewish composers too. So that's why I say this class, even though it's classical Turkish music, it means the Ottoman time of music, which is they were all citizens of that government, that the Ottomans. So that's why they call it Ottoman music or classical Turkish music. So this Sufi music, as a classical way, it hits its high peak with the Mevlevis, which Jalaluddin Rumi, Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi, he lived on 12th, 13th century also, that he developed this idea of ney, and also his book, Mesnevi, one of his greatest book that he wrote all this in the poetry style. He started with describing ney as saying, listen, ney is talking through the separation. It was cut from its root. And now when you blow, it's just telling its story, his separateness, his yearning for the root. So this is the story, and also liken this ney as 7 holes. So this is my edition. Originally 7 hole, which is 7 hole, and then we empty this, we blow as God created Adam, and he opened this 7 hole in the head and he blow. That's why it symbolizes as a human being, as our soul separated from our original being, as saying God. In the classical form, Mevlevis, they developed so much tradition because of also the Sema ceremony. Because Rumi started to Sema, we call it, spinning around, which was an ancient tradition actually coming from all Northern Africa, and in Middle East was very common, spinning around as everything spins in the universe. So imitation, it's a great philosophy describing how life, the essence of life is doing. Just everything spins around one central point. So with the Sema, gain its nutrition from this music, because they always accompany it with the kudum, the percussion instrument they call frame drum, and then ney. But and then also they added tambur, is oud, is accompanied, but mainly ney is the soloist instrument which has the voice and breath. So this is classical form, but there is also one Sufi tradition which comes from Sufi tradition, as we call it Aşık. So all the like Pir Sultan Abdal, Nesimi, these are the poet, but at the same time they play and they do all this kind of different style, which in Anadolu they use different bağlama also. There was a different style. They tune differently with short. So I can describe you play some of the song that you can get the taste of how the adoration goes. This song talks about seherde bir bağa girdim, ne bağ duydu ne bağbancı. So the lover of God, he enters the garden of Eden, and he says, neither garden nor gardener be aware of him that he was in. So he says, I got whatever I want, neither garden nor gardener knew that I was in. So this always makes my heart tremble, because the meaning of this, if we analyze, it is very easy to make the gardener sleep or not to make him to feel you. But making him in the garden, that is not aware he was in the garden. Garden didn't know. So that intimacy between the love that we have for the life, for God, for thing, it should be so intimate. Nobody should know. It's not for advertisement. It is for high. It's a secret. It's sight. So it's a very intimate thing. This is what talking about. That's why I like this song very much. Seherde bir bağ girdim, seherde bir bağ girdim. Ne bağ duydu ne bağbancı, açılmış gülleri derdim. Ne bağ duydu ne bağbancı. Bağın kapısını açtım, bağın kapısını açtım. Sandım ki cennete düştüm, yar ile tenha buluştum. Ne bağ duydu ne bağbancı, ne bağ duydu ne bağbancı. Seherin bülbülü öttü, seherin bülbülü öttü. Öttü de murada yetti, teslim aptal yükün tuttu. Ne bağ duydu ne bağbancı, teslim aptal yükün tuttu. Ne bağ duydu ne bağbancı. Ne bağ duydu ne bağbancı. He got whatever he wanted, and that intimacy he kept it for himself. So these are the adoration for the love of God. And at the end it just comes, you are, whatever you look for, it is in you, which is God is hidden in you. In a way, deeper sense, we are in God. Then we realize not God is in us, but we are in God. As Jesus also said, we live in God, we walk in God, we eat in God. So we are in Him. That experiencing first that we are looking for something outside, but then He says, oh, it is in. Then realizing, oh no, actually He is everywhere. So He is in, we are in us, and everything is in Him. So this is the adoration, and this is how this adoration comes through Sufis, songs and music, percussion and dancing, whirling. So it's a celebration of life. Thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you in next episode.